I was handcuffed to my own kitchen sink watching the HOA president live stream my arrest to 47,000 followers. When the sound of footsteps echoed from below, deliberate measured, the kind of footsteps that say, "Yeah, I've walked this floor 1,000 times." What of it? The basement door I didn't even know existed swung open, and out walked Mayor Theodore Blackstone wearing a bathrobe that definitely wasn't mine, holding a coffee mug that read "World's Best Witness," and asking why Marisol Wentworth was screaming in his safe house on a Tuesday morning. Yeah, that happened. The cop's hand froze on his keys. Marisol's phone clattered onto my countertop, her live stream still rolling, catching every pixel of her shock. And me still cuffed to the plumbing, realizing my dream house came with an unauthorized basement mayor as a bonus feature. Let me back up a sec, because 6 hours before all this, I figured my biggest problem would be unpacking boxes and maybe finding the nearest hardware store. My name's Bryce Montgomery, and if you've ever had a neighbor call the cops on you for just existing, you might want to buckle up. I spent my life savings on this place, so if you want to see how this train wreck ends, go ahead and hit subscribe, because what comes next? Well, let's just say it involves politicians, secret basements, and federal indictments. All right, picture this, a crisp Tuesday morning, October 15th, just past 7. My moving truck's backing into the driveway at 4732 Waterfront Boulevard, a property I snagged at federal auction for the suspiciously low price of $180,000. The listing, sketchier than a back alley poker game. Abandoned asset forfeiture, sold as is. But hey, after years as a military intelligence analyst, I figured a few red flags just meant opportunity. The house itself was a 1970s fever dream, glass everywhere, weathered wood jutting out over Lake Winnebago like it was trying to escape the land. The previous owner files sealed tighter than anything I'd handled at the Defense Intelligence Agency. Just stacks of paperwork stamped federal asset forfeiture with more blackouts than a Cold War memo. I'd barely set up my coffee maker when she appeared at the edge of my driveway, Marisol Wentworth. She didn't walk up, she conquered, marching in, like Patton retaking France, filming the whole thing for her adoring followers. Imagine yacht club cosplay, white blazer, gold buttons, boat shoes, never touched a boat, and a captain's hat so new you could still smell the cardboard. "Good morning, waterfront family," she chirped to her camera, her voice sweet enough to rot your teeth. "We have a situation developing at the Sky Lounge auxiliary property. An unauthorized individual appears to be attempting occupation." Sky Lounge. Yeah, those two words should have sent me running. But I was still naive enough to think I could fix this with a deed and a smile. "Can I help you?" I asked, setting down a box labeled "Kitchen Fragile" a little too hard. She spun her phone at me like it was a taser. "This is the trespasser, everyone. Sir, you need to cease and desist. This property belongs to the Sky Lounge Entertainment Complex." Comments poured in laughing emojis, people asking if this was staged. If only. I tried to show her the deed, federal auction, all legal. She actually laughed. Not a normal laugh, but the kind that says she's already decided you're an idiot. Impossible. This property's been under Sky Lounge management for 7 years. We use it for storage, guest overflow, private events. You're confused or you're committing fraud. Across the street, I noticed curtains twitching. The neighborhood was waking up to their morning soap opera, and I was the star. "Ma'am, I have the deed right here." "Fraud!" She shrieked loud enough that 3 different Ring doorbells lit up across the street. "This man is committing fraud. He's claiming ownership of Sky Lounge property." The moving guys Tony and Vincent looked at each other silently, deciding that whatever was about to happen, they wanted no part of it. Marisol, meanwhile, cranked her performance up to 11, narrating every moment for her live stream. As president of the Waterfront Estates HOA and managing director of Sky Lounge, I'm documenting this criminal trespass. She dialed 911 on speaker, of course. 911, what's your emergency? This is Marisol Wentworth, HOA president. There's an armed man trespassing at 4732 Waterfront Boulevard, refusing to leave and making threats. Armed, I look down at my jeans, faded Marine Corps marathon t-shirt, and my World's OK Intelligence Analyst mug. If that was armed and dangerous, every Starbucks was a crime scene. Ma'am, I'm not armed or making threats. I'm moving into my house. He's reaching for something. She shrieked again. And that, my friends, is how misunderstandings go nuclear. The 911 operator got sharper. Sir, keep your hands visible. Officers are en route. I set my mug down slow, raising my hands. Tony and Vincent had vanished into the truck. Marisol kept her play-by-play going. You can see him getting agitated, Waterfront family. This is why we need strict HOA protocols. Without proper vetting, anyone could just show up claiming ownership. A neighbor in a bathrobe yelled, "Maybe let the man explain himself." Marisol's spun hat nearly flying off. Harold Steinberg, your deck stain is still too dark. Don't make me add you to my violation report. Harold retreated like a cat from a vacuum. I realized she ruled this place by fear, not respect. Cops showed up in under 7 minutes. Officer Reynolds got out looking like he'd drawn the short straw. Morning, folks. Let's all take a breath and explain what's going on one at a time. Marisol launched into her script, complete with 47,000 digital witnesses. Ma'am, put the phone down, Reynolds said. Let's handle this without an audience. She gripped her phone tighter. Reynolds turned to me. Sir, can I see some ID and documentation? I moved, carefully conscious of her camera handing over my license and auction paperwork. Reynolds checked it while Marisol whispered, he probably forged those documents. Check his criminal record. Bet he has a history of fraud. That's when we heard it, the sound that changed everything. Footsteps from below. Not old house settling, real measured steps from behind what I'd thought was a utility closet. A section of wall swung open and Mayor Blackstone stepped out, owning the stage in his bathrobe and world's best witness mug. What the hell is Marisol Wentworth doing in my safe house? His voice cut through the room like a gavel. Silence followed so deep you could hear the comments blowing up on Marisol's phone. Reynolds fumbled for his radio, trying to remember if there was a code for mayor in bathrobe emerged from secret basement. Mayor Blackstone Reynolds said, his voice an octave too high. Sir, what are you doing here? The mayor blinked. It's Tuesday. I'm always here for witness protection coordination. This is Federal Safe House Delta 7. Has been for 4 years. Marisol's phone slipped from her hands, cracking on the tile. Her live stream catching her face as realization hit. She'd just filmed herself into a federal incident. Federal Safe House. She croaked, then shrieked. This is Sky Lounge property. My husband signed the papers. We have storage rights and airspace usage. The mayor's face darkened. Your husband, Judge Harrison Wentworth, has no authority over federal property. What the hell is Sky Lounge? I just stood there still cuffed, wondering if I'd slipped into some kind of alternate reality. Officer Reynolds said, Let's figure this out. Mr. Montgomery, you bought this at federal auction? I nodded, pulling up the docs. The previous owner, Victor Klov, lost it due to federal crimes. The mayor paled. They sold Koslov's house. This was supposed to stay in federal custody for witness protection. Marisol waved her phone. See notarized. Storage and air rights. The mayor scowled. These are signed by your husband, not any federal authority. He had no right to assign this property. But we've been using it for years, Marisol insisted. Our equipment's in the basement. We have events scheduled. Equipment, a mayor, and a secret prosecutor all in my basement. Felt like Narnia if Narnia was run by government agencies and the mob. Reynolds called for backup. Neighbors gathered outside, recording everything Harold back, risking his deck stain for the drama. Mr. Montgomery, the mayor, said, Where did you buy this property? Federal auction background check. Financial verification, the works. He groaned. Someone at the Marshal Service didn't check with the FBI. This house was never supposed to be sold. It's been a safe house since Koslov. He stopped short, eyeing the live stream. Then another voice came from the hidden stairs, a woman, sharp-eyed, business suit, hair in a tight bun. Angela Hartwell, the federal prosecutor who'd put Kosloff away. Marisol recognized her, went pale. You're the prosecutor who convicted Victor Klov and his entire organization, Angela finished, including several individuals who paid your husband to influence sentences. Hello, Mrs. Wentworth. Fancy meeting you in my safe house. Twist time. Turns out not only was my new house a federal safe house, but Marisol's husband was in on the take and the Sky Lounge a front for laundering money, running illegal casino equipment through my basement. The mayor oblivious, Angela, in witness protection living under my kitchen, and me still cuffed in my own house in the middle of a sting. Agent Park from the FBI showed up cool as a cucumber announcing, "We've been monitoring since Mrs. Wentworth started her live stream. Mr. Montgomery, you're not a suspect. Actually, you're the perfect bait." I was a catalyst. They said my background too clean for the criminals to resist, so buying the place flushed everyone into the open. Marisol finally wilted, muttering, "I want a lawyer?" "You'll need one, specializing in racketeering," Agent Park told her. "Your husband's already in custody." What happened next? A house tour that'd make HGTV jealous. Level 1 basement normal. Behind the water heater, hidden door to level 2 federal safe house, bulletproof glass comms panic room. Behind a wine rack, level 3 full illegal casino roulette, crap slot machine security rooms. "How'd they get all this down here?" asked Reynolds. "Tunneled to the marina," the mayor said, not even blinking. By then, "Mayor in my basement" was trending. News vans showed up, neighbors sold bottled water, and the FBI declared it a crime scene. When the dust settled, Agent Park told me, "You technically own the house. Once we clear the evidence, it's yours, all the secret rooms, passages, and a tunnel to the marina. Congratulations, Mr. Montgomery. You just bought the most interesting house in America." Marisol tried to claim entrapment. Park shut her down. "You came here on your own, admitted everything, and live-streamed it to 47,000 people. Her phone captured her defeat, full HD perfect for her own Netflix miniseries. Neighbors threw a block party. Harold made $40 selling water. The mayor, apologetic, suggested I help rebuild the neighborhood, hinting maybe I'd be a good fit for the new legitimate HOA. The irony: came here for peace and quiet, ended up with a house full of secret rooms, a love story with a former prosecutor, and the weirdest neighborhood in America. Angela stuck around at first to tie up loose ends, then for dinner, then more. By the end of the year, I was hosting Freedom from HOA Tyranny barbecues, helping rebuild the community, and discovering new hidden rooms on a monthly basis. Marisol went away for 35 years, her husband for life. The Sky Lounge was demolished. The casino turned into a community center. The tunnel became a storm shelter. So would you keep a house with a federal past, a secret casino, and a love story in the basement? Or would you run for the hills? Drop your thoughts in the comments. The American dream's a little strange sometimes, but sometimes strange is exactly what makes it great. And as for the HOA, we let that stay buried deep as the secrets in my basement. Because some things, folks, are better left locked up where the sunlight and Marisol Wentworth can't ever reach them again.